What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. So in this episode we're going to be talking about how to emergency brake with your motorcycle, because at some point in your motorcycle riding journey you're going to come to a point where you're going to have to emergency brake, and how you emergency brake determines if you're going to be safe or not. And this is what we're going to be discussing in this video. Now, as far as emergency braking, I recommend that if you're a brand new rider or someone who's very well experienced in riding a motorcycle, to practice emergency braking often. The reason why you want to do that is because you want to know what to do before the oh shit moments actually happen. Because in your riding journey, as I mentioned, you will have those oh shit moments. And before you have them, you want to be prepared. So the first thing I want to talk to you about, and this is the most important thing, and I want you to make sure that if you don't remember anything else in this video, is to remember this, okay? The front and the rear brakes, they provide different stopping power. The front brakes are responsible for 70 to 80% of your braking pressure. So as you can see on my bike, and I would say most modern bikes these days that are above 400cc typically have dual brakes and dual calipers, okay? So on this bike you got one on this side, and then you got another one on this side. These brakes provide you an immense amount of stopping power. Now if we go over to the rear of the motorcycle has a tiny 200 or 250 millimeter disc brake in the back. Don't exactly know the exact numbers, but it's very, very small, and it's not dual calipers and it's not dual piston. And so the purpose of the rear brake is for slow speed maneuvers as well as stability. The front brakes are mostly for stopping your motorcycle, especially if you're going faster than 30-40 miles an hour. So 70 to 80% of the force is in the front, 20 to 30% of the force is in the rear. If you combine both of them together, you get 100% braking pressure between the front as well as in the rear. In an emergency situation, if you use 20 to 30% braking force, not only is your travel distance when you're stopping a lot longer, but you may end up having an accident because you can't stop fast enough. So what I want you to remember is that in an emergency situation, what I would recommend for you is to use the front as well as the rear at the same time, okay? Now, I'm saying this is an emergency situation. I'm not saying that you should do this all the time. When you're riding your motorcycle on the street, the only reason why you should be using either your front or your rear depends on how much speed you're carrying. So if you're carrying lots of speed, I would say anything over 20 miles an hour, use primarily the front, because that provides the most braking pressure and it'll stop you in less amount of time. Now if you're going less than 20 miles an hour and you're coming to a stop and you want to be a little bit more smoother, then you can apply your rear brakes. And then just before you fully stop, then I would gradually start using the front brake. But anyway, now we're going to get on the bike and I'm going to show you how this is done in a parking lot situation where I recommend you do the same. As an FYI, in my motorcycle mastery course, I teach emergency braking, swerving, and all that stuff. You don't necessarily have to sign up for motorcycle mastery, but I would definitely recommend it if you're a brand new rider and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. Even if you've been riding for years and now you're getting back into riding motorcycles, then I would still recommend motorcycle mastery for you, because it's packed with about 6 hours worth of material that you can go through. And there's a Facebook group as well where I can answer your questions and all that stuff. So highly recommend you check out Motorcycle Mastery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that pillar right in front of me right here. So carrying some speed with me. Okay, just like that. Now if you're in a parking lot situation, always look all around you to see if there's any cars coming, any pedestrians, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my rear brake only and watch how long it takes me to stop. I'm doing 30 miles an hour. This is my rear brake only, okay? You see how long it took me? Let me go back to the same position and I'm going to use my front brake and then watch how long it takes me to stop from the same place where I braked before. Alright, so I'm going to do 30 miles an hour like before. And now I use my front brakes. You see how fast that was? A lot faster than before. I mean, I could have pulled my front brake a lot faster, but then I realized that my wheel was turned a little bit and the bike started heading towards this way. And anytime your wheel is turned just a little bit and you're using your front brakes, all of the weight transfers to the direction that your wheel is turned. So I'm actually kind of happy that that happened, because now I can warn you about it. So while you're practicing this, make sure that you're emergency braking in a straight line. Make sure that your wheel is not turned. And as a result of that, even if your wheel is turned slightly, just a little bit, just like this, or maybe this way, most of the time it'll probably be like this instead of this. I don't know. I'm a righty, so for some reason I always end up this way than this way. But regardless of which direction, as soon as you stop, that's when all the momentum goes to the direction your wheel is turned, and therefore you're going to drop your bike. So just be very, very mindful and very careful of that once you're doing this drill. Especially if you're going to be doing this drill on the street, which I kind of don't recommend, but hey, if you got nowhere else to do it, it's better to do it on an empty street where there's no one around. Maybe go in the mornings or maybe later on in the evening. That's all on you though. But anyway, back to emergency braking. So before I did it with my rear brake, but then I did it with the front. Now I'm going to do it with the front and the rear together at the same time. So you see, it was a lot faster than before. It was a lot faster than doing it with the rear. It was a lot faster than doing it just with the front. And so in an emergency, I would say in a real emergency situation, a combination of your front as well as your rear is what you should be using at all times. The other thing I want to mention is that some people, they're riding some classic motorcycles or motorcycles that are just not very modern and up to date. So you may not have ABS, okay? I should say you might not have ABS in the rear. And if you don't have ABS in the rear and that's the brake that you're using primarily, then you can take a guess what's probably going to happen, especially if you're turning in a corner very, very fast. What's going to happen is that your back is going to step out and you might low side, okay? Or at the very worst, you're going to skid out the entire time because you're emergency braking and there's no ABS to slow you down gradually, okay? So that's why it's also very, very important to make sure to use your front at all times, because as far as I know, okay, as far as my knowledge about motorcycles, I would say the majority of the bikes within the last 10-15 years all have front ABS, because it's kind of like a safety standard amongst all motorcycles. But some motorcycles, they have something like a supermoto mode, or perhaps maybe they're designed more for off-road use or whatever case for that matter. They don't have rear ABS, so that's why you got to be really, really, really picky and choosy on which brake you use the most. So come to a parking lot like this and just practice what we did, and if you have some cones to practice with as well, then that would definitely help you out as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and take it to the mean streets, so this way I can teach you how to emergency brake while you're out and about. So now I'm doing about 50 miles an hour, right? Holy shit, something came up. All right, punch it. Okay, so as you can see, I punched it, slowed myself down, but I was in a straight line, okay? It's like if I was going in a circle like this and using my emergency brake, I could still emergency brake. I'm not saying not to emergency brake, because emergency braking, regardless of a turn or not, you gotta slow down. So you're gonna do it regardless, right? but I would say within the last couple of feet, gradually roll off the brakes, so this way you stop in a gradual motion. You don't do it abruptly in a turn. You slow down slowly in a turn, so this way it's not abrupt, and this way, since your wheel is turned, you're not going to end up dropping the bike like we talked about. Alright, so here's the red light. We're going to do another simulation of slowing ourselves down in an emergency, doing about 30 miles an hour. I'm not going to stop until I get here, and this is where I'm going to use a combination of my front and my rear to slow myself down. But I'm not sure if you noticed, but the last 2 feet I tapered it off, so this way I stop gradually and it's not abrupt. In a situation like that where you're emergency braking and your wheel is slightly turned, slightly taper off and just roll an additional 2 feet, so this way it's not abrupt and you don't lose control and the bike dumps on you.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So before we end this video, I got a couple of more tips for you. And this tip is something that was taught to me at the beginning stages of my riding journey, which was probably more than 5-6 years ago. But it stuck with me up until now. And there's not a single day where I don't ride and I don't practice this. But when you're riding your motorcycle from day one, always cover your brakes with 2 fingers. That split maybe 1 or 2 or even, I don't know, milliseconds, half a millisecond that it takes for you to open up your fingers, grab your brake and pull might mean either crashing or saving your life. So if you notice, most racers, okay, or anybody who goes to the track typically covers their brakes. That's typically used because not only is it more efficient, but because you're riding so fast, the corner comes really quickly. And so covering your brakes allows you to pull on your front brakes and slow yourself down into the apex and then let go and boom, on the straight until the next corner comes up. That's why most racers do it. But because we ride on the street, doesn't necessarily mean that we shouldn't cover our brakes in the same way that a racer does it, because from one apex to the next there might be a corner and it allows them to stop faster because reaction times are lower. In the same way, you may have an emergency, and during an emergency reaction times are a lot lower when you have your 2 fingers on your brakes. The next advice I have for you is when you're emergency braking, or any time for that matter, this is like one of those general rules of riding a motorcycle. If you're riding a sport bike like this, it's so easy to ride the sport bike and stiffen up your arms and your body and everything else. Okay, like this is the typical sport bike rider. You see how straight my arms are? Okay, this is your typical sport bike rider. They're pretty much stiff. Their neck is stiff, their back is straight, their arms are straight, and they put a ton of pressure on the handlebars. Pretend it's a baby chicken. You don't want to crush that baby chicken and kill that poor little thing, okay? Lighten up the pressure on your handlebars, especially if you want to learn how to emergency brake. In an emergency braking situation, use your core. Use your core to hold yourself up. Don't use the handlebars and put all that pressure on the handlebars. And don't forget, check out Motorcycle Mastery if you're a brand new rider or a returning rider. It will save you months, if not years, of trial and error. I put tons and tons of work into this program, and there's over 6 hours of content where you and I just hang out and we talk about every single thing about a motorcycle. When you finish the course, you're going to know every single thing there is in order to ride a motorcycle, not only safely, but also in a performance-oriented fashion if that's what you prefer. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.